When I started reading the transcript that John gave me in February, it's obvious that the whole thing is entirely conditional. If New Life does A, God will release B. To quote Steve from last week's message, with him, without him. These are the scriptures that God was quickening to me that seem to apply to this situation, and I really want to share them. 2 Corinthians 5:18. All this is from God, who through Christ reconciled us to himself and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. Reconciliation is our job. It's what we're called to do. And the other one, Zechariah 9:12. Return to your fortress, O prisoners of hope. Today I declare I will restore double. It doesn't matter what was lost in the past. If we get back in sync with God's plan for new life, he will restore even more than we lost. So, with him, without him. As I said earlier, the word Bob Jones gave is pretty chaotic. And to be honest, I do not understand from the transcript what an eagle's nest is. But to be even more honest, I don't really care. Last week, Steve had some words specifically for us at New Life. He said that God doesn't need us to win the city. He just needs us to win the day and the next day. We don't have to know at this point in time what God's destiny for New Life is. It is enough to know that he has one. And then do what we can do today to be ready for that destiny. And then do it again tomorrow and the tomorrow after that. Do the groundwork necessary to be the house he has called us and is equipping us to be. I don't know what an eagle's nest is supposed to be. But based on 2 Corinthians 5:18, I think I understand what has to be done to be the generation that receives God's destiny for new life. The people Bob Jones was particularly focused on in his word are New Life people who got offended and left. He said they are AWOL from our ranks, absent without God's permission. One of the things Steve talked about last week was offense. He said, don't believe the enemy's lies. If you do, you will get offended. A former pastor of mine put it this way: don't get offended. You're only going to have to repent of it later. In 2003, there were already too many people who God wanted here, but who had left because they were offended by something or someone. He said that there were some people that God had brought here specifically to fulfill a role, but they were gone. And that trend has continued long past 2003. One of the root causes, according to Jones, was ambition. I assume he meant selfish ambition. But if you have an ambition, then he said you can become suspicious of anybody else that isn't agreeing with you. Suspicions can grow into accusations, and then you can end up, and I am quoting him, going into division when you should hang around and get killed so he can give you the truth. By getting killed, I think he meant to die to self, because as Steve said last week, it's not about you, it's all about him.